The John Boehner is having to go back to the well. He's got to create a whole brand new plan. And, in fact, even now the head of the Tea Party Nation is calling for him to step down. Let's check in with the Washington correspondent for The Nation magazine and resident of Madison, Wisconsin, John Nichols, thenation.com, of course, the website, Twitter @TheNation. And, John, I want to get into all the Fitzwalkerstan news. But first, your thoughts on the head of the Tea Party Nation calling for John Boehner to step down. Is he that much in the crossfire?
Well, he is that much in the crossfire because John Boehner doesn't believe in anything that he's doing. And that's why he has been such a steadily incoherent advocate. I mean, the president actually pinpointed this the other day when he said, I've had very good discussions with John Boehner.
Yeah, well, that's almost like sticking a knife in his back to say that publicly.
That's the evil thing you could do, right? I know. But it actually is true. Boehner is a man of government. He has lived at the government trough in the state legislature and now in the Congress forever. He came up not as a leader, but as a mandarin. He's a guy who, kind of like dots the I's and crosses the T's.
Right. He's the establishment.
And the pinnacle of his work is to go up to Wall Street and collect those checks. That's what he does. Yeah. And this is getting Wall Street nervous. So Boehner is, he's kind of a man stuck between two sides. He's got the people he really wants to work for, that's Wall Street, saying, don't mess up the credit rating here, brother. And then he's got the base of his party. What we're really seeing, Tom, is something that you and some of us have been talking about for a long time, that the Republican Party of the current moment is a false construct. It is a party of blue-collar, often, poor folks who vote into office people they think are going to ban abortion, ban gay marriage, but really are there to serve the interests of the multinational corporations that ship their jobs overseas.
Right.
Now that's all coming to a head. It's becoming a very, very bitter internal battle. Boehner's not going to step down, but I think much of the national news coverage of this fight misreads it. A lot of people still see Obama as being in a corner, as being in a tough spot. Increasingly, if you look at the polling, people are very sympathetic to Obama, very supportive. It's Boehner who is in a tough spot. He won't step down, but he might face a leadership challenge, and he faces the very, very real prospect of whatever final deal is cut becomes the target of the leading Republican candidates for president.
Sure. I'm waiting for the et tu brute moment, when Boehner turns to canter and as he's staggering down the steps. Glenn Beck has picked a favorite in Wisconsin. What's the deal with this?
Well, Glenn Beck, fresh from to the descendants of the people who led the Norwegian resistance to Hitler as Hitler Youth, right? I mean, a guy who completely transposed all reality of World War II, now has a favorite candidate in the Wisconsin recall elections, a woman named Kim Simak, who comes from up in northern Wisconsin. She's a Republican who's challenging State Senator Jim Holpern, one of the 14 Democrats who tried everything they could to stop this anti-labor legislation in Wisconsin. And it's very interesting. Beck, he doesn't fall far from the tree. Kim Simak, like Beck, has an incredibly long record of referring to her opponents as
Nazis,
and using Hitler all the time.
But how can she run on a family values platform when she's married to her best friend's ex-husband, who is married to her ex, and his ex-wife is married? Explain it to me. I don't get it.
This is it. She is running as a big family values candidate who wants to put a cross in every school, right? I mean, really pushing the line hard. Lots of pictures of her with family and all that. Her husband's ex-wife is married to her ex-husband.
So
she and her current husband filed for divorces from their spouses a week before Christmas a few years back. And then they married each other, and then the people they divorced married one another.
So it's a wife swap.
Well, I don't know if I'd call that, but the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, the largest newspaper in the state, used a similar term.
Amazing.
To which Kim Simak replied, It's just one of those quirky things that happens in America.
Yeah. By the way, apropos of the previous comment about Glenn Beck having a favorite in Wisconsin, I'm up at the top right now of Glenn Beck's website, theblaze.com.
I bet you are.
And what's interesting is I immediately went over to stormfront.org, the white supremacist website, and searched my own name. And 5 threads have been started with my name in them, some with some fairly explicit threats, in the last 24 hours since I went up on Beck's site. It just seems to me like these wacko white supremacist sites and anything Glenn Beck puts in his crosshairs go together.
Well, I think this is a very important thing. And, some listener might say, well, how do we connect all this stuff up? How are you talking about Glenn Beck and Norway, and then you're coming into Wisconsin? Well, the interesting thing is that northern Wisconsin has, Wisconsin's a wonderful state, a progressive state, but it also has had some ugly white supremacist, kind of even go back to Joe McCarthy type trends within it.
Sure. And
it's interesting that our Tea Party movement here has had, especially in the northern part of the state, a real nasty edge to it, very unpleasant, that roots back to some ugly battles on an issue that most people aren't aware of, and that's treaty rights for Native Americans, the right of Native Americans to fish in rivers and streams. We had a brutal battle in northern Wisconsin 20 years ago over that, and Jim Holprin, the state senator who was running up in northern Wisconsin, risked his seat 20 years ago to stand on the side of Native Americans when they were being literally physically attacked. And, it's sort of a remarkable story of, doing the right thing in a very, very difficult political moment.
Remarkable.
And he faces attacks.
Yeah, and speaking of doing difficult things, I think it's really important with these runoff elections coming up soon. Mm-hmm. That several of these Democratic candidates are only a couple of points ahead because Walker, part of the delay strategy by running the fake Democrats was to give them time to redistrict the districts. And so, what's the status with all this?
Well, it's crazy stuff going on, and
we have 1 minute, John.
Okay, look, the most vital thing to understand is that all of these Senate districts where Democrats are challenging Republicans are Republican districts that have historically, sometimes for decades, only elected Republicans. The fact that the Democrats are ahead by a few points or within a few points is a remarkable success already. We are in the midst of a bitter battle. Not every seat's going to be won, but the truth of the matter is that when you go out there and you see this energy, you're not seeing it as Democrat versus Republican. You really are seeing that classic populist struggle of up and down fighting people, Democrats, independents, and even some Republicans saying, we got to take this legislature back for the people. And so I think that I look at those poll numbers and I don't see much that's frightening. What I see is some encouraging possibilities there.
Well, that's a fine thing, although Scott Walker's running scared. He's raised $2.5 million for himself.
Oh, yeah, and he's raising money like crazy for these recall candidates.
What can people do to help, John, real quick?
$20 million campaign.
What can people do to help?
They can support... They can go directly to the parties and the candidates that they like and make contributions.
Okay. And the Democratic Party of Wisconsin, does it have a website?
It sure does. You just search for it and you get it out of Google.
Okay, great. John Nichols, thenation.com. Thank you, John.